I'm one of the biggest Sonic fans you'll ever meet, and even I could admit the series has had a rough time the past few years. Not to say there haven't been great moments, but there's been missed opportunities, mid-games, and Sonic Boom. I don't drink to party, I drink to forget Sonic Boom. Despite this, Sonic has always maintained relevancy, thanks to the success of the movies and Sega pushing him as much as they can, and it seems like Sonic's future depends on the newest title, Sonic Frontiers. Besides Xenoblade Chronicles 3, this was my other most anticipated title of 2022. It's almost upon us, but it's had a rough time from pre-production to promotion to launch. So join me on this journey as we look through the history of Sonic Frontiers, as I know it as I record this video. Before we get into the video, it'd be helpful if you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. And with that out of the way, let's begin.
Right, and there's no room for ego on Team Sonic. And friends. I was gonna include you guys, albeit not individually.
The last major Sonic games were Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, both released in 2017. While Mania was a critical and commercial success and hailed a return to form of the franchise, Forces was a bit more polarizing. For me, personally, I actually like the game well enough, but most people aren't alcoholics like me. I do agree that the classic Sonic stuff and the boost formula had overstayed its welcome. Whatever the next Sonic game was, it had both an easy job to be better than Forces, but a harder job to follow up Mania. It would be a while before we would hear rumblings of a new major Sonic game. In the meantime, we got Team Sonic Racing, which was mid, a few re-releases, one of which was buggy as hell, and the big one, the Sonic movie. Production of the Sonic movie is worthy of its own video, but the end result was a rousing success that gave Sonic a nice boost in popularity that he hasn't seen since the 90s. So how is Sega going to follow up the movie? Well, it'd be another hot minute before we got any major Sonic news, because of, well, you know. But in the dark corners of Sega and Sonic Team, a new major Sonic game was in the works. 2021 was Sonic's 30th anniversary, and now would be the time to announce a new Sonic game. Around early 2021, rumors started spreading of a new title. One leaked title was called Sonic Rangers. Was that going to be the new Sonic title? On a live stream in May 2021, we would get our first glimpse of a new Sonic game. And all it was just Sonic running. I mean, well, duh, it's a Sonic game, of course he's gonna run. It's like assuming a new Marvel movie is gonna have Boomer Rock and too much CGI from underpaid artists. Still, it was enough for me to be excited. How would it play? Was it going to be Sonic only again, or would Shadow be playable again? I'd have to wait before my questions would be answered. At everyone's favorite annual waste of time, the Game Awards, we would get the full name of the new Sonic title, Sonic Frontiers. Easily a highlight of the show, but it's the Game Awards, so that's a very, very, very low bar to clear. Frontiers news would go quiet until June 2022. Leave a comment if you think Xenoblade 3 will get any awards at the Game Awards this year. In the weeks leading up to summer 2022, Sega and IGN would show off Frontiers gameplay for the first time, and most people's reaction to the gameplay was, "What the hell was that?" Many commentators were really disappointed in the gameplay. It was just a map with some stuff thrown around at random, and many thought the game looked stiff, unfocused, and unpolished. Well, duh, of course it's gonna look a bit rough around the edges because the game is still in development. People on Twitter were mad with the hashtag Delay Sonic Frontiers being a thing. Twitter was painful to be around during the Frontiers gameplay showcases, and this was before Elon Musk bought the damn site. Also leave a comment about how long you think it'll be until Elon Musk runs Twitter into the ground. Among the drama, it was revealed that IGN was showing off an early build of Sonic Frontiers. But like, why? You could have saved yourself from a bunch of Twitter and Reddit neckbeards hating your game before release if you just said that right away. But why even show the beta build in the first place? Sega, I love you, I love your games, but sometimes your choices make me want to chug a Strong Zero. Hey, would you look at the time? It's Strong Zero time. That said, there was clearly potential in the game, and Sega would show a later build of Frontiers that seemed to win people over. A feature of Frontiers are the cyberspace levels, where you get keys to get Chaos Emeralds. Good to mix up the environment, but again, people were upset that the level shown took the aesthetics from previous games, like Sky Sanctuary and Green Hill Zone. Kirby reuses Wispy Woods, and no one bats an eye. Sega reuses Green Hill Zone, and everybody loses their minds. That was my favorite part of The Dark Knight. Also, Batman 2022, the best Batman movie. During the later half of 2022, Sega toured Frontiers around to various game events around the world, one of which was at Gamescom. At this event, someone glitched Frontiers and was able to show off parts of the game that shouldn't be shown off. A result of this was Sega forbidding people from filming the game and restricted playtime. But again, people were upset at this, and this is not the first time Sega has messed up a demo. Seriously, from the word go, Frontiers had a lot going against it. People thought the game looked really unfocused, really unpolished, and the 3D open world style was really bad for Sonic, and the game just looking like a Breath of the Wild clone. But over time, as Sega has been showing off more of the polished gameplay, people very slowly have been getting won over. But I do find Sonic fascinating in the sense that he has some of the most passionate defenders, but some of the most vocal haters out there. And the debates I was seeing on Twitter and Reddit were painfully cringe. Seriously, the people who engage in those kind of discourses are just way out there. They make the people who are into inflation and flattening things seem normal. Look it up, it's a real thing. In an interview with Iizuka, Sonic Frontiers didn't have the easiest time being made. Iizuka agreed with the general consensus that the boost formula had overstayed its welcome. Development started on Frontiers after Forces launched, and Sonic Team wanted to evolve the Sonic formula. And in that evolution, there was a lot of trial and error. In fact, Sonic Team had to scrap the first build of Frontiers because it wasn't working. Not helping was something called the coronavirus sweeping the world, and is still a thing regardless of what right-wing commentators say. Sonic Team, like many companies, had a hard time adapting to remote working. Sega did confirm they had plans for Sonic in 2020 and 2021, but whatever plans there were had to be pushed back due to the pandemic. Iizuka said it was difficult to, quote, get a sense of the big picture, but on the flip side, it accelerated other aspects of development. And this is pure speculation on my end, but I can imagine there is a lot of pressure on Iizuka and Sonic Team to put out a great game, or at the very least a good one. Sonic is back in the public eye thanks to the success of the movies, but hasn't had the best run when it comes to games, with some of the more recent titles being polarizing as mentioned. Sega knows Sonic's future rides hard on Frontiers being a hit, and while I don't know the inner workings of Sega, I wouldn't be surprised if someone took Iizuka aside and told him, hey, quit making mid-Sonic games, we got the movies and a new TV show coming out, we want a great game, so don't fuck this up! Again, pure speculation, don't quote me. With that said, Sega seems to have faith in Frontiers. I live in Japan and I've seen far more promotion for Frontiers than Forces. Though Frontiers didn't do a cross-promotion with Hooters. That was the thing. I've seen Frontiers advertised at Family Mart where I get my beverage, One OK Rock is doing the ending theme, which I imagine wasn't cheap given how big they are. There's a cross-promotion with Monster Hunter and Hololive's Inugami Korone, and at Tokyo Game Show 2022, Frontiers was proudly being shown off alongside Yakuza Ishin Kiwami and all of the Atlas stuff. I played Frontiers at TGS after waiting about 2 hours, and I had a fun time. After playing the game for myself, I bought this badass Saturn shirt I'm wearing for this video and pre-ordered the limited PS5 edition, which will come out next week. It seems like others who have played Frontiers so far seem to enjoy it. Like many Sonic titles post the Genesis era, I feel like Frontiers will be a polarizing game. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, mostly because of YouTubers telling them that Sonic is bad. But I'm excited for Frontiers. Sonic means so much to me and so many others, and I look forward to crossing this new frontier with them. So that's my look at the history of Sonic Frontiers, finished, and I hope you enjoyed it. I am sure we will learn more about Sonic Frontiers development in the upcoming months, but for now, all we can do is wait for the game and hope it's a good one. I got my copy pre-ordered, I'm getting the PlayStation 5 version so I can get more use out of my PS5 besides just Disney Plus and Kingdom Hearts 2, and I got some rum in the fridge, and it's going to be an excellent time. But, yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. So, Sonic Frontiers, are you going to get it? Let me know down there in the comments. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. Hit me up on the social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at ZMangs, and I'll see you in the next video. Night, everybody. Take care.